Hey guys, Singh here, and today I'm out on Montauk, just enjoying the view, and I thought I would bring you guys along with me. And what I want to talk about today is how do you know you have a good or bad therapist? And these are some key aspects of knowing that you have a good and bad therapist. And I want to start off with, one, is your therapist keeping your confidentiality? Keeping your information safe is a therapist's number one job. Unless you want to hurt yourself or somebody else. And two, is this therapist giving you too much advice, or is problem solving for you? Is he doing you harm by doing this, or is he harming you in any sort of way? That's another job that we have to do as therapists, that we shouldn't be actively looking to harm you. Therapists work with some of the most vulnerable populations in society. We have a responsibility to not take advantage of our clients, and if that's happening, sometimes the patient needs to take a step back and sort of say, hey, listen, I think this therapist is taking advantage of me. One, if this is legitimate, you can report your therapist to the board, and two, find a new therapist, somebody that you can get along with. Make sure that this place, this safe haven, because that's what we're supposed to be creating for your emotions and feelings to foster and us to work on it together through this journey. We have to create a very non-judgmental environment, and this is usually bought by being very unbiased, very objective. And sometimes clients will say, hey, listen, I come to therapy and I'm always spewing my feelings out towards you, and I don't really know much about you. And to that I want to say, it's because the people that we work with come to us because they're suffering in some sort of way. And we want to help this person without bringing ourselves too much into their lives. We don't want to make you dependent on us, because if a therapist makes themselves dependent, if a therapist makes their client dependent on them, that to me is a bad therapist, because I don't want to be in your life forever. I want you to progress and live life as a quote unquote normal human being, normal person. And when a therapist builds that dependency, it can be a crippling effect for that individual. And that brings me to another point that you should be looking out for. And your therapist should also point out to you when you're having moments of transference. And a therapist should always be looking out for their own which we call countertransference. So I'm going to explain to you what both of these terms mean. Transference is when the client, which would be you guys, the clients, are transferring or projecting your feelings onto your therapist because that therapist is bought out or is somehow similar to an individual that has impacted you in your life. And then the countertransference is just the opposite. Like if you brought up something, or you remind me of someone in my life and that has impacted me in a certain way, and then I bring those emotions and feelings out on you, we call that an enactment of our feelings and emotions within the session towards you. And that should not be happening. So if that's constantly happening, if your therapist is either constantly attacking you, or even maybe it doesn't even have to be malicious. It could be something that this person sees, like your therapist might see you as maybe their child or their mother, and be very caring towards you in a way where it's unhealthy. It could be many things. So you gotta just look out for that. And I guess this is for therapists and even myself. We preach to our clients that, hey, you have to monitor your feelings in order to work on them. You have to monitor your thoughts and emotions. As therapists, we also have to do that, to be as unbiased and to know our biases by heart. Because if we don't know our biases and somebody walks into my session, I could be subconsciously, belittling this person without even knowing it. So explore your biases as therapists, that's one. And two, clients should not have to deal with just being belittled. That goes with the whole non-judgmental atmosphere, the safe haven that we have to foster. And all this is ultimately leading up to building a good rapport with your therapist and your therapist is trying to work hard to get your rapport as well. We don't want to mess that up. We need trust in order for us to build upon our therapeutic and not even your therapeutic needs. Because your mental health, at the end of the day, again, is your responsibility. You have to seek out help if you need it, because contrary to popular belief, therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists cannot read your mind. We need to know what's happening for us to help you through the process. And I'm going to show you guys a glimpse of the lighthouse now. Please like and subscribe.